an undefeated mixed martial artist, holding a perfect professional record.
In 16 professional fights, his record stands at
18 wins, no losses.
Farosh.
Still undefeated! Everybody, I come in for everybody! Kill everybody! I'm the champ! I'm the king! Get everyone!
That man gives me chills.
Близка как проказка против Тейшейры. Все! Сдохнем! Oh, he put him out cold! Oh, he put him out cold! Oh, out cold.
One thing we all love about the UFC is, unlike boxing promotions, the UFC prevents anyone from taking easy fights. The most dangerous opponent you could get put up against, you will get put up against, making it hard to stay undefeated. In this video, I will go over the best fighters who still have that impressive 0 in their loss column, starting with the least accomplished and moving up to the most accomplished. Starting at the bottom of our list, we have Lerone Murphy with 16 wins. What makes this more impressive is before his UFC career even started, he was shot in the mouth 3 times.
Yeah, so basically before I started MMA in 2013, I got shot in the face. A few little things were going on at the time, but when that happened, it turned my life around.
Now he's coming off a solid win against 8th ranked Josh Emmett, who is one of the scariest punchers in the UFC. His knockout against Bryce Mitchell might be the closest any fighter has come to dying in the UFC octagon.
He's in convulsions right now. Oh my!
After this win, he called out veteran Brian Ortega, who challenged for the featherweight title before, but Lerone Murphy will most likely be a heavy favorite going into that fight. But there are quite a few fighters that can give him a run for his money in his division. He did have an extremely close fight with 14th ranked Dan Ige, but he has shown improvement since then. The fighters that have the best chance of beating Lerone Murphy first would be John Silva of the Fighting Nerds, Aljamain Sterling, the former bantamweight champion, another undefeated guy in Mosvar Evloev, or the current featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski. Lerone Murphy remains relatively unproven against the elites of the UFC, but the sky's the limit for this young undefeated contender. Speaking of undefeated Mosvar Evloev, he is our next on the list for the best undefeated UFC fighters with 19 wins. His last fight with former champion and legendary UFC fighter Aljamain Sterling had some of the highest class wrestling you can see in MMA. It was a close fight, but Mosvar won by unanimous decision. He's calling for a fight for the title against Alexander Volkanovski next, but it's unsure if he will get that fight. Him versus Volkanovski will certainly be a close fight, but other than that, I don't think Evloev has much challenge in the top of the division at the moment. Next up, we have Shavkat Rakhmonov with 19 wins. This Kazakh beast of a fighter is coming off a close but deserving decision win against short-notice challenger Ian Machado Gary whilst battling an MCL tear. He's currently out until 2026 recovering from that MCL tear, but if he wasn't, he would have been next in line fighting Belal Muhammad for the welterweight title. This man is one of the coldest, scariest fighters in the UFC, and upon his return, he will most likely fight for the title against whoever holds it, whether that's Islam Makhachev or Jack Della Maddalena. If Shavkat isn't affected much by this injury, then the only fighter I see beating him is Islam Makhachev, or maybe Joaquin Buckley, depending on how good he looks against Kamaru Usman in June. The second most accomplished undefeated UFC fighter, in my opinion, would be Khamzat Chimaev with 14 wins. His wrestling is just too dominant for any opponent he has faced so far. He crushed elite former champion Robert Whittaker's jaw in the first round with a choke. He had closer fights against Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman, but his wrestling did give him the edge in those fights. Dricus du Plessis will most likely be his next fight, and he has a good chance of beating him to become the middleweight world champion, but his stamina is in question.
No.
Usman built his career on being a ridiculous wrestler.
Yeah.
He got tossed around like a rag doll in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
But in round 3, he was winning the fight.
Right. And that was on very short notice.
Very short notice. Khamzat was exhausted.
Yeah.
Khamzat Chimaev has yet to reach round 4 or 5, and Dricus du Plessis has been there multiple times at this point in his career. Lastly, and definitely not least, we have the only champion out of all the fighters on this list.
Ilia Topuria.
Ilia Topuria with 16 wins. Ilia has been so dominant thus far in his career. The only man that has seemingly given him trouble was Jai Herbert, who landed a head kick knockdown in the first round, only to get flattened in the next round. He knocked out former champion Max Holloway and champion Alexander Volkanovski. Those two were thought to be the 2 best featherweights of this era, and he put them out brutally. He also had a brutal 5-round beatdown against one of the scariest punchers that was previously mentioned, Josh Emmett. He now has a title shot against the elite Charles do Bronx for the vacant lightweight title after Islam Makhachev has moved up to fight Jack Della Maddalena. This fight between Ilia and Charles will definitely be one of the most entertaining fights in the UFC this year, maybe even all time. We've yet to see Ilia fight someone with this level of jiu-jitsu, and we've yet to see Charles do Bronx fight someone with this level of power in their hands like Ilia has. How do you guys think this fight will go down? Personally, I have Ilia knocking out Charles, but with these two guys and their skill sets, anything could really happen. Please subscribe and like for more videos like this. Any feedback is very much appreciated. Thank you for watching.